Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. In most years, being a Browns fan, your Super Bowl was the draft. But when you trade 3 first-round draft picks in a row for one player, the draft kind of becomes like an exhibition game. It's like I'm having a hard time getting into it. But the Browns will pick today, barring a trade that moves them down. They have the 54th pick. So there's 21 picks before them. G, who they taking?
Well, listen, this was kind of hard because there are a lot of receivers that I want on the board. Now, I wouldn't mind a running back. Hey, who knows? Maybe there's an edge rusher that falls. But for me, I'm going wide receiver. I like Jerry Jeudy. I like Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Benson. I'm going to go with Troy Franklin from Oregon. He was probably one of the first guys I kind of mocked to that position. Good straight line speed. He's a little stiff in the hips, but you talk about like a guy who could take top off the defense. He's a guy, he needs to work on, having contested catches. But you go back and watch him at Oregon, dude's a flyer. He can straight out fly. That's what the Browns need at the wide receiver position. And he could get in the end zone, 14 touchdowns. I think Troy Franklin will complete this offense, and we will look to get that Deshaun Watson 5,000 yards I've been trying to preach about for 4 years.
He seems like Anthony Schwartz with real stats.
Yeah,
with the speed, because when we took Schwartz, everybody's like, world-class speed. You looked at his numbers and you're like, yeah, but for a guy with world-class speed, he should have killed college football.
Yes.
And didn't. Franklin did.
And he's 6'3". And he's above. Anthony Schwartz was kind of small, but I'll tell you what, Jason.
I'd be happy with him. If he's still available, I'd be happy with him.
Yes.
I don't think they necessarily have to go receiver with this pick. They've certainly addressed it already with the Jeudy. To me, the position that we have the most uncertainty surrounding is really running back. You don't know what you're going to get out of Nick Chubb. You hope he's back. You hope that he's the same Nick of old, but you don't know that. This is a pretty significant knee injury that he's coming off of. And how much longer does he have in the tank? The Browns could have their pick of running backs at where they're picking. They're very likely that no backs go off the board. So to me, give me Trey Benson from Florida State. I also like Jonathan Brooks from Texas. Either one of those guys, they're sort of 1 and 2 on the board. Benson, you see his numbers there. He's apt at catching passes out of the backfield, which I think is going to be a big part of this offense moving forward with the spread look that they're probably going to develop. He doesn't need a ton of carries. He's always been in that 20 and under carry threshold that the Browns have seemed to trend toward. Give me the running back and quite likely the long-term successor to Nick Chubb.
I like him. He's the best running back on the board, and if he's there, I would have no problems at 54 taking him.
All right, here's why, before I give my player, completely respect your opinion, but before I fold my hand on Nick Chubb, I need to see diminished production. And I know it might be too late if we get into the season and there's diminished production when he comes back. I am betting on Nick Chubb. I just am.
It's not a bad bet to make.
No. He's had a devastating knee injury before when he was at Georgia, a knee injury that some said he would never be the same. He was better than ever.
Yeah.
So this is Nick Chubb we're talking about. There's very few players that I would make this exception for, but he's one of them. I'm going to let it ride at running back. I'm going wide receiver. Now, my answer to Mike on this question was literally the following. Anyone who can run and catch. That's what I want at number 54. In the past, we've had guys who could catch, David Bell, but couldn't run. We've had guys who could run in Anthony Schwartz, but couldn't catch. I need a guy that can do both. So please, at number 54, give me a guy that can do both. And here's the guy I think will be available. I like your guy more than this pick. I'm not sure he's going to be on the board. Give me, and the name McConkey, I like that name. I know that name. I also like Brendan Rice, by the way. I would have given you Brendan Rice as the guy that I really like. But just take a receiver that can run and catch. That's really what I'm looking for. And, these stats here are minimowski.
But he was injured.
But the fact that he was injured has to factor into that. And so, give me a guy whose dad literally has the acronym of GOAT locked down. Anybody disagree with that? Just like Mariano Rivera has GOAT locked down at that position, I think his dad, Jerry Rice, has GOAT on lockdown.
Ladd McConkey can run. He did it in the SEC. Go watch them games against Florida. Go watch them games that against Alabama. He gets open. He's a precise route runner, and he's going to be a dude that's like I don't want to just say because he's just like a slot receiver. Everybody is Julian Edelman, who happens to be white and a slot receiver.
Automatically, you get that
automatically.
yeah.
That's
Undersized, white.
But guess what?
Good hands.
But he can move. He is not Julian Edelman speed. He can move. He runs in the 4.3s. I would not mind having him as well. Give me him.
Okay, Christian McCaffrey broke the mold at white running back.
Yep.
Is he going to break the mold at wide receiver?
He very may well. He very may well.
I'll make mine quick. You took Troy Franklin, G. I like that pick. I like Ladd McConkey. But if Keon Coleman's on the board, that has to be the pick for me.
Yeah.
Guy put up phenomenal numbers at Florida State. Former basketball player at Michigan State. He has that athleticism you would hope Cedric Tillman would bring to the table last year. Coleman didn't test well, which is why he's fallen on the draft boards. But when you watch the tape, this dude can play. And we asked Earl with Edgerrin Cooper, by the way, the linebacker out of Texas A&M.
I like that.
I like that pick too.
I'm just skeptical that he's going to be there. I was surprised that I thought he might go late in the first round.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes when teams have not 24 hours, but a night to sleep on it and think about it, that usually that first pick ends up being the best available, and I think Coleman's going to be gone early. We're taking a